Welcome to the show. This is Adam. He wants to show you guys the world today. How are you doing, Adam? Yeah, you're gonna grab the mic. My name is Stephen Pope. I'm the founder of My Amazon Guy. My infant, going on toddler here is gonna host the show today. I'm just gonna leave him in the chair and leave the room. Let's see how he does. Yeah. What do you guys think? How's that sound? Well, my phone has been blowing up today with press hits. The wife's gonna take the kiddo here. Thank you. It's interesting to see that we've seen a major spike in sales on Amazon this past week. Number one item in outdoors has been Ukraine flags. And this is, mind you, Ukrainian flags, multiple listings, multiple sellers. I don't want to talk about the politics, but I do want to talk about the trend line. And it's interesting to see just how many people are flocking to Amazon to make that purchase. You can see there, number one in all of flags. Here that is number one in all of outdoor flags and banners. They're currently number 6 in all of garden and outdoor. This was at number 1 yesterday until that particular ASIN sold out. So we're seeing a lot of that happen. It's been picked up in the media. So New York Times even done a pitch about how everybody's buying the flags. So no matter your politics on this, and again, I don't want to talk Ukraine politics, but just everybody is talking about flags and everything that's going on. So interesting to see it. I kind of compare it to when there is no comparable event, to be clear, but other trends that have happened in the past on Amazon. We've seen Queen's Gambit on Netflix come out, and then all of a sudden chess sets they're just crushing it, like 600, 800% increase in sales following Netflix coming out with Queen's Gambit. We've also seen other trends happen, and not to make light of the situation, right? It's not comparable, but we also have seen things like fidget spinners come out. These trends will spike really hard, and then they will fall off as fast as they came. So that's kind of my prediction. All right, well, happy Friday. Every Friday, I answer your questions about all things Amazon. So if you got a question today about how to set up that advertising ad, or you don't know how to segment something, or you want to talk about SEO, My Amazon Guy is the number one SEO thought leader in the space. We can also talk about design or other conversion factors like traffic generation and catalog management. So let's dive in, go right to your questions here. Cool peeps. Good Friday morning, Stephen and team, sending you all lots of love. Thank you for the donation there. Appreciate it. Do you suggest that we have more than 3 months of inventory into the Amazon FBA warehouse? No, not at this time. Restock limits have been a big problem, so I don't recommend more than a 3-month supply right now. In fact, I honestly would probably more like a 6 to 8 week supply at this time. Unless you're going into like your busy season or something like that, you want to keep your stock levels more limited. Best way to do that is to take your 3PL stock, leave most of your stock at a warehouse that you control, then drip it into Amazon every 1 to 2 weeks. But don't ship in more than a 2-month supply to Amazon right now, in my opinion. What are the most under leveraged Amazon reports? I just used 3 reports and thinking about missing out on a bunch. Okay, so honestly, the business report is where I would start. The Amazon business report is the number one most underrated, no doubt about it. You can see your conversion rate, your traffic numbers, how many units are being sold, your AOV, and you can track it historically. The nice thing about the business reports is they will show you 2 years of data. The advertising report and the search term report, that is number 2. That's my number 2 pick. You should be looking at once every 60 days minimum, because you can go in there and see search terms that have showed up on your broad and your auto campaigns and be able to go track down some new keywords you should make some exact match on, or some higher bids, and do that. So my phone has been ringing off the hook today. I hired a PR firm to get me out and about so I could get some press hits and some radio interviews and some TV interviews. I literally just did a TV interview right before I did this podcast. There's so many interviews coming in, I can't even remember them all at this point, which is really, really fun. It's fun to do that. I used to be a TV reporter, so getting back to some of my roots and doing some media hits, I enjoy it a little bit. And today they're all talking about the Ukraine flags being sold out or sold in mass amounts on Amazon. So that's why I started on that bit today, because everybody is talking about it. We got a new member in Tayor. Thanks for becoming a member of our channel here. We do prioritize member questions as well as stickers. We jump to the stickers first as they come in. So Tyre says, almost all of our sponsored rankings are getting dropped to 0 in a few hours for several products. After several hours, some of the product sponsored rankings are coming back. Sales dropped. So the sponsored rankings specifically, interesting. So normally what I normally would see would be like the BSR disappearing, right? You lose your category rank or something like that. I've never seen sponsored ranks going to 0 for a few hours. Tyre, my initial impression is check the budgets. Do you have budgets stocking out? Because that would cause this. The cycle is happening over and over again the past few days. Never got out of budget. Okay, so you see how I zoned in on that one. He already answered that one. Manually checked on Amazon. Sponsor ranking is not showing up. The best performing campaigns are not performing well. Getting low impressions have not been converting for a few days. So Tyre, really the budget one was my #1 pick, and you already ruled that one out. So I'm trying to think what else it could be. You know, you might have a suppression issue or a buy box issue, anything. Have you checked into the ad group itself to see if there's like a, hey, this ad's been banned? That probably won't be it, but you got to check it. I would probably call Amazon. This is a far-fetched troubleshooting recommendation. I would call Amazon, just let them know what you've observed and ask them some questions about it. Wish I had a better tip on that one. Unfortunately, I don't. Ruben with a $2 sticker donation. Thank you very much, Ruben. Happy Friday, all. Right back at you. In business, let's go to Ruben's question first, if he's in here. Nope, he's just being a nice guy. Thanks for that, Ruben. We did have another donation coming. I'll go to theirs first. DJ, thank you for your donation as well. Amazon just changed my return policy to not allow returns. Competitors still can. Support not helping. Know how to fix it. Part 2, this happened for over 50 of my ASINs across multiple categories. So there is an option inside of Amazon to control your return policies, but in certain categories, they do restrict returns depending on how what the item is. So are you in the US market? I'm trying to find your listing right now, see if I can find it. I feel like I'm typoing it in because I can't pull it up. Bravo 0117 Victor 8 Queen 2, and that's an O at the end. I think that's where I got the mess up. All right, found the listing. We're going to share that now. So let's show up on here. So health related product, then is that what I'm seeing here? Make sure I click on the right listing here. Yeah. So health related product. So a return should totally be fine on this item as long as it's not opened. So I'm kind of surprised that's happened to you, DJ. Health-related items in general typically do have some restrictions from being returned, but I'm very surprised that like a pulse oximeter, if I'm saying that right, would be prevented from being returned. That should just be like, as long as the package isn't open, you can get it returned. But it's happening on over 50 ASINs. So let's go look at the Face Lake store and see what other items come up here. So these are all kind of in the same vein. Could be that they're making a change in your category, DJ, where all of a sudden they're like, hey, anything that tests temperature, we're going to prevent returns on. That could be because they've had, you know, as COVID kind of swept in, people just buying things and then returning them and having some health problems. So there could be a category shift on that. A lot of thermometers and whatnot in here. Let's just look at a random listing here and see what the return policy shows up. So it says free returns on this listing. I picked on a random one. Let's go back to the original and see if that one has an issue. I mean, it says it can get returned right here. That's what I'm seeing. So DJ, I wish I had a better answer on this question, but it's probably a moving target, to be honest. I would just ticket Amazon repeatedly until you get a little bit more closer to the bottom line on that one. Karen, thank you for the donation. I'm in SEO phase 1. My A+ content alt text is different for each image, and the alt text is all exact match keywords that are not already on my listing. The copy is also exact match keywords that are not already on my listing. Is this right so far? I'm treating the copy as important as bullet points, while the alt text with the least important keywords. You nailed it, Karen. That's exactly what I would do. And for those that don't track fully with everything that Karen mentioned, let's go back to the screen share. So what she's talking about is copy right here. And then if you inspect an image and go to the alt text, you can see right there, the alt text is set with 100 characters on the image there. And you can optimize that. And then in addition to that, she was talking about bullets and a title, a little short on bullets on that one. So yes, you are doing exactly correct. You want to put as many exact matches as you can when you're in phase 1, because the purpose of phase 1 SEO, and if you guys, there's going to be a few new guys in the audience. If you're wondering what SEO phase 1 is, you can go over to my website and you can click on our free SEO phase 1 guide. We give it away for free here. I just put it in the chat if you're curious. And essentially during phase 1, your goal is to index for as many keywords as humanly possible. So you want to have 250 bytes, not characters, in the search term field. All of the SEO tools got that one wrong, by the way. Bytes is correct, characters is false in the search term field specifically. And you put that information in to get indexed as fast as possible. And then you don't want to have duplicate words, no commas, spaces don't count against you, by the way, which is why it's bytes, not characters. I get a lot of questions about that. And if you scroll down here, fill this out, we'll give you the free guide for free. Yes, I do add you to my marketing. You can unsubscribe after one email if you want. I was down in Florida yesterday and 2 days ago. This week, I was traveling to see the Tampa Bay, Florida community. If you're joining us from Tampa's community today, feel free to shout out in the comment section. We'd love to hear from you. It was really great to see some top sellers down there. They have a top 100 Amazon seller down in the Tampa Bay community, and I was able to shake hands. It was great. One of my clients is down there, as well as one of our coaching students down in the Tampa Bay community area. If you want me to visit your own mastermind, you can reach out to me. Maybe I'll agree. I'm super introverted, though. I like to stay in my basement. Trace, thanks for the super sticker. When you refer to breaking off a child listing to stand alone, how do you do it? And will it take reviews to the new listing? Great question. Parentage is one of the most complex things we do on Amazon. And I generally love parentage. So I'm going to show you in the back end. This is my actual back end portal. And in here, we have 36 scented soaps, actually 18 scented soaps, but fulfilled FBA versus merchant fulfilled. I launched these variations because I had a customer ask me and say, I just want 4 of one kind. So we ended up building it out. And you can break one of these off. Let's say I wanted to break off 8 of these to be on their own listing. So what you would do is you would simply click that and hit delete on the parent. After deleting the parent SKU, you'd make a new parent SKU if you wanted a different parentage and reconnect them. But if you just wanted one child ASIN to break off the variation tree, you got a little hiccup there, then I would go with a brand registry ticket. They don't always agree to do this. Sometimes they do. And what you would do is you get over to brandregistry.amazon.com and ask them to politely remove one of the ASINs from the parentage. But if you want to do it yourself, template uploads, split off, delete the parent, recreate the parentage multiple times. That's the way to do it. And then in terms of will the reviews come? So you see how this listing's pretty new. I only have 1 product review so far. And if we were to separate all of these into their own listing, what would happen? Well, this 1 product review, which was on probably this. So you see how I clicked on that and it went specifically to that one right there. You see how you can see which one it was for. So this is the one that has the 1-star review on it. If we were to separate these out, the cedarwood, the one that we're on, would keep the product review. all of the 15 would go down to a goose egg 0. So if we want to look at a listing that has lots of more reviews, same thing would apply here. Let's go over to my main mixed box sets, right? And if we separated these 4 SKUs or ASINs, they would divvy up the reviews. These reviews are stored at the child level in parentage, but then the parent combines them when they're parented, but they're still stored at the child level. So child ASINs would take whatever reviews are there. Great question, Trace. Very, very good one on that. Thank you for the second donation too. Super appreciated. I think that is, it stays with the child. You got it, Jelena. You're tracking with me today. All right, I think that's all the sticker donations. I think we knocked those out. If you want to jump the queue, that's the best way to do it on the Q&A. I'm going to go to the top and start answering member questions here, and we'll do those next. So Jeff Allen, good to see you again, my friend. U.S. sellers listing products in Canada, but not the U.S. Obviously breaking TOS. Brand registry says they can't do anything if the product is bought legitimately. What can we do? So I think what Jeff is talking about is a second seller listing your items in Canada and selling them. Big problem right now for a lot of Amazon sellers. One of the things that you can do is purchase a Canadian trademark. We did that ourselves at My Amazon Guy. I've had 25 people purchase a Canadian trademark from us, and you can then take that serial number. This is not 100% guaranteed to work at all times, and it helps though to remove Canadian hijackers or unauthorized sellers. And the other thing I recommend you do, and if you're trying to get brand registry, just get the US trademark. That's the best thing to do. But if you're trying to remove Canadian unauthorized sellers, a Canadian trademark makes a lot of sense. Now, one thing to keep in mind, the Canadian trademark takes a full 2 years to go on the principal registry. They are beyond overloaded over there. It's stupid how slow Canadian trademarks take. But we can get you the serial number in under 1 business day, and you can start referencing it in the ticketing. It does help. It's not a guarantee, but it does help. We've seen it work. We've had 26 people purchase it, and it's worked for them. All 26, it eventually worked for them. It didn't work on every single ticket, but it eventually got them all off. So if you're over in Canada, so let's type in Age of Sage here and see what comes up. So apparently my SEO on my own product, not so great going over there. Let's see what would be the fastest way to find something here. So let's do Age of Sage soap. Let's see if that helps. There we go. So I'm in the Canadian market here. And notice how we have various different listings here. So if somebody was trying to purchase this particular soap box, notice how it says ships from the USA and sold by Momster, but other unauthorized sellers can show up and take the buy box from you. Super aggravating, super annoying. You can now find the seller info in the US, but not in Canada. How can I contact info for US sellers selling in Canada? You can still file brand registry infringement tickets to get them to take off of there. The other thing you can do, Jeff, is hit the contact seller button on Amazon and threaten them. That also works. After you get them removed, you'll get an automated message about how they're so sorry for accidentally listing on your item, to which I say, cool, if you want me to retract my claim, pay me $500. That's what I've been doing of late. Been feeling a little feisty on that one. Tired of them showing up. Let's go to Happy Friday, Ruben. In the business report, also says in the B2B data included in the total, is the B2B data included in the total data? Yes, it is. It's included. For example, if my unit session is 10% and my B2B unit session is 2%, is my total unit session 12 or 10? It's 10. Great question. Get that one every so often. Does new release rank take into account the price of the product or only sold units? Only sold units. So it's harder for bigger ticket items to make their way up in the BSR of Amazon. Amazon is a marketplace, and what happens is the lower priced items tend to dominate. So this is part of the reason why I have a loss leader strategy on my Age of Sage smudge kits. And so pack of 3, only $8. And so we're not really making money on this, but we turn through like 800 units a month, and that allows me to get the reviews and the ranks. And so that's why I do it. And then I make more money on the other big opportunities here with the pack of 100 and pack of 12, pack of 6. You get the idea. So that's why it makes sense to have a cheap version of an item. Get your good, better, best model in on Amazon to get the rankings on the lowest ticket item, but combine the search result for those higher ticket sales. So that's generally why I like to do that. Abdallah says, thank you very much, Steve. I launched a new seasonal product trying to greet your great, greet your great. I think that's what he means. Mom gift box started 9 days. My rank is in the main keywords in 9 to 11. I'm selling the most units. How to get in the top 3. I'm spending around $500 in PPC per day. Tacos 60%, ACOS 110, search volume 10x after 9 days for 15 days and almost stopped. When should I reduce the PPC spend? So generally right around day 14, you can start to soften it. Around day 30, you can half it. Typically, that's been my experience. Sponsor brand video campaigns, 50% of budgets, but ACOS 180%. I would definitely take more of the video and push it over to sponsored products. They're generating the most clicks and 30% of paid sales. I was thinking reducing their bid. Is it the right time? Adala, I mean, it sounds like you're very aggressive with your launch right now. And so depending on your goals will dictate the answer here. But based on the numbers and facts and figures you said, I probably would start to pull back a little bit, because that's a pretty expensive launch based on what you're seeing. And it's a seasonal product. And so if you're in the season, I would say, be aggressive. If it's right before the season, I think you've got mission accomplished. So one of the questions I would ask you, Abdallah, is how many keywords does it index for if it's a brand new product launch? And if you're above 1,000 keywords already, I would say soften it. You're good to go. If it's not at 1,000, you might want to keep that aggression for a little bit longer. Jeff says, by the way, your Age of Sage soap A+ content brand story is killer. I'm using it as an example for all of my brands to copy. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm not the brainchild behind that particular design, but I know who is. It's got a lot of copy in there. It's got some cool stuff. We made that when we only had one item. I should go back and remake it now that I've launched more items. To be honest, Jeff, I think we could do better, but I'm glad you like it. That's good. And by the way, many of you guys don't know this. This is a brand story from the brand. Here is the A+ content. Notice how much space you can take when you use everything, right? Super important to take up as much space as possible on the Amazon platform. And that will prevent people from scrolling down like this and clicking on your competitors' listings. So take up much space as you can, throw as much copy into the listings, and you'll thank me later when you index for more keywords than your competitors, because you put copy in the A+ content and took up as much space as possible to help your conversion rate. How long does the new release badge appear on my listing? 45 to 60 days. I had my smudge sticks get it for about 45 days, maybe 60. And it was super helpful. I had my best conversion during that time period. I launched it in the November-December timeframe, I think. Did very, very well with it. Not making money. I'm just doing it for the purpose of showing and demonstrating product launches. My warehousing costs are too high for me to make money on this at this time. But who knows? We'll see. Kevin, if I remember right, you're down in the Florida community area. Check out the Tampa Bay community. I was with them 2 nights ago. They are a strong community down there. Charlie says, are customer video reviews somehow more valuable to Amazon than picture and regular text reviews? Yes, Amazon definitely prefers those, because think about it. Like, how many of them are there on the platform? Harder to fake them, harder to do them, harder to get them, right? So yes, absolutely, way more valuable to get a customer video review versus a text. And the picture one will rank better. So let's see if we can find some. So we're still on the Age of Sage smudge kit listing. Let's scroll down all the way to the reviews. And so you can see right here, reviews with images, they go to the top, right? That's the only one that I have. And you can see it right there, right at the top. So yes, super valuable. So of course, the one person who took the picture gave me the 1-star review. Thanks to Joyce. I appreciate it. Wishing I'd stayed with the product I usually go with. This sage is terrible. Doesn't have smell. Goes out too quickly. And has more FM in it than sage. Don't know what that means, in fact. So yes, pictures can be very valuable. So obviously we have a great product review, 4.6 on average. But the one guy that left the one negative review right at the top there. So let me own that one. So as you scroll down, they get a good mix of positive and negative reviews showing up here for take it or worse. All right, let's go to the next one. By the way, I always try and have a culture at my Amazon guy where we talk about the tough issues. We don't hold them back. So you're seeing me there, own it. I've got negative reviews. So does everybody, right? Like, don't hide it. It's all right. Mike says, Amazon only allows GS1 UPCs for my new listings. I don't know if the brand is using GS1 codes. Can I buy one-time GS1 UPCs or most under the same GS1 account of all other barcodes of this brand? So Mike, and your name is familiar. I want to say you sell some health products, if I remember right. And if that's the case, yes, you definitely want to get GS1 codes. That's for sure. If you don't have GS1 barcodes right now, they can prohibit you from listing new ones. And so that can be a challenge. Should you do one-time codes versus like getting a block where you have a subscription? I'm indifferent. Depends on the number of SKUs you have. The less SKUs you have, the more likely you can just get away with the one-time codes because it's cheaper if you're buying onesie twosies, $15 a pop typically for one UPC code. But do you need them all under the same block under one brand? No, I think you're fine. You don't need it. You'll be okay. Brian says, 1 of 2, hello. I'm having a problem with Amazon returns. I opt in to have all of my returns returned to me, but Amazon is issuing refunds without the product being returned. Their customer service said it is saying that I'm authorizing these returns, but I'm not. I sell luxury items and this is killing me. How can I stop this? So I would check your return settings, Brian. I would go into Amazon, and I'm guessing with luxury, you're probably selling FBM. So inside of the options for your settings, you can go into, and here is your shipping settings. These are the outbound settings, but I'm pretty sure the return settings can be accessed. I'm not seeing, here we go. There's the return settings. Let's click that. So in here, here's the general settings, return program, return address. And you can select whether you want to authorize Amazon to automatically authorize the returns. So right here, if you've got that checked, that's your problem, Brian. You want to uncheck that. Let me know if that fixes the issue. I bet it does. Hopefully I just saved you thousands of dollars, Brian. We'd love for you to report back and let us know. Galindo. Ideal scenario of ordering products and have them delivered DDP. Should I order my products EXW and arrange with the freight forwarder to deliver DDP or UDP, or does it matter? So I'm going to admit to you right now, I don't know what a couple of these acronyms are, and I'm going to Google them. So let's go to Google together and see if I can help answer this question. DDP, shipping. Let's see what that defines as. Delivered, duty paid. All right. And then EXW, let's see what that means. We've got XWorks is a shipping arrangement in which the seller makes a product available at a specific location, but the buyer doesn't have to pay, but the buyer has to pay the transportation costs. And then DDP or UDP shipping, that is a simple, nope, not seeing it. Don't know what that one is. So I don't know how to answer this question based on the info that I'm seeing, but what I would say is freight on board is the most common FOB. And whether you're making an arrangement with your freight forwarder might might want to talk to a logistics expert on this question. I wish I could do better. I'm more of a marketer and not so much logistics. If anybody in the chat can point Galindo in the right direction, please help him out. You could just say who to talk to or what company. That'd be greatly appreciated. Trey says, are sales up this week? My sales are down this week. I need flags. Which country is next? Probably Taiwan. China's going to take Taiwan for sure, 100%. I would definitely stock up on some Taiwan flags if you're trying to get into that. Man, that made me laugh. It's not a funny thing. Please don't kill me in the comments. Is it a good idea, and is it allowed to have a child listing and separately as a standalone as well? So if you're trying to sell the same product two ways, technically prohibited. A lot of people do it. Can you get away with it? Yeah, you can. But generally not supposed to do it. So when in doubt, parent listings together. And we talked a lot about parentage today. When filing the fields and creating the Amazon page, is listing and release date the same? They're not. They're separate. Fill in all of them with a future date. Just play your bases safe. As soon as you have the A+ content live, the FBA checked in, and all of your items optimized, the video loaded, the ads campaign mated, then set the date to today. And curious, guys, what do you guys think the best day of the week to launch your item is? Post your answer in the comment section. I have a strong opinion on this one. I'll give you my opinion later. So we're at the halfway point. I would like somebody, I'm going to give away a free PickFu test today. And so here's the deal. You need to post your ASIN and a competitor's ASIN. And we're going to do an A/B test. Give me the exact two ASINs. I need them, not a URL. It has to be an ASIN because I ban all URLs in my chat to avoid porn website spam bots, believe it or not. And post both those ASINs. I'll select one. And what we're going to find out from PickFu is, what does the consumer like more, your product or your competitor's product? And this is going to be free for you guys. We'll give you a nice free PickFu test today. So we'll pick one and select it together. So post your ASIN and a competitor ASIN in the chat if you are feeling up for it. Cupcake Sprinkles, good to see you. Prime Day, what do you do to prepare? How to maximize sales? Do you expect much of an increase in sales? Honestly, this year I don't. Last year was super weak. The year before that was gangbusters, though. This year, Prime Day in July timeframe is right when the economy started to just fall off a cliff. So most of our clients and all the accounts, I have access to 200 plus accounts, actually probably more like 500, but 200 active accounts that are placed with us. And we're seeing the sales trends are significantly weaker this year than they were last year. That doesn't mean we're not growing sales. Quite frankly, on many of our accounts, we're still growing sales and taking market share. But on many clients that we've been with for like a year and a half or 2 years, they're static in some categories. And there's a little bit of frustration. They're like, why am I static? I pay you to grow my sales, Steven. And I said, I'm actually doing my job right now because most of the guys are shrinking. Sales are down. Here's proof, Cupcake Sprinkles, right? A few others in the chat have talked about their sales being down. And so if you're preventing sales from going down by being static right now, you're actually ahead of the curve at the moment. So we're in a little bit of a recession. Inflation's up through the roof, employment issues, all these kinds of problems circulating the globe right now. We've talked about a few of them. All right, I'm looking in the chat, and I do not see anybody proposing a free PickFu test on an ASIN of their choosing versus a competitor. So if you haven't taken advantage of that, here's your chance. My sweet wife says, feeling a little feisty. Woohoo. That's good. Stays with the child. The reviews will stick to the child. That's correct, Jelena. And Lance says, I want to apply as an intern to your company. Well, we'd love to have you, Lance. Go on over to myamazonguy.com/internships, and we'd love to have you. Post the link in the chat there for you. Anybody's welcome to apply worldwide. We're always hiring. We've actually hired quite a few interns, in fact, 60 in the last 60 days. My payroll costs are way through the roof right now. And that's because we're investing for the future. we're trying to grow really, really fast this year. I want to go from 211 brands actively managed to 275 by the year end. So I'm over hiring right now as we try and get that out. So you can find employee satisfaction surveys at my Amazon guide. These are real numbers, nothing's parsed. And you can see all of the things that we stand for on the website. We're competency-based hiring. We put employees before clients. We fire asshole clients so our employees are happier and stick around. And we talk about, and we got, here's all the countries that we're in with our employees: Romania, Turkey, United Kingdom, Pakistan, Philippines, Brazil, Argentina, Mexico, all the way around the world. So Lance, hope you apply. All right, I'm hoping somebody gave me an ASIN to test today. All right, so we got Karen's got an ASIN, but I don't see a competitor one. Karen, can you give me a competitor one as well to compare it against? Otherwise, I'll have to pick one for you because we got to get this PickFu test up to get it live results and demonstrate it. Yep, perfect. All right, so here we're gonna look at this together. So Karen's given us ASIN, Bravo. Oh, I think 9H3QW364. There's our first one. Maybe it's 0. There we go. Okay, so we got a wood therapy massage tool versus competitor Bravo 096 MC1B89. Got it. Here we go. I think it's this one, right? So let's just make sure I got the right one when I do this. Yep, that's the one. Okay, so here's the competitor. Here's yours. Which one do you guys think is going to win the PickFu test today? All the accessory items or showing the hand? Let's see your vote in the chat. Which one's going to win? So we're going to make this the A. This is Karen's item. And then this one is the B, the competitor. So let's go on over to PickFu. I'm going to pull this off screen for just a brief moment and log in, start a new poll. All right, I think I'm in. Okay, so we're going to build from scratch. And which product are you more likely to click on is my favorite way to do the test because it helps you understand what image is better. And then let's go to the options A and B. So what we're going to do here is we're going to download the image like this. That's our A. Download the image like this. That's our B. And we're going to load it in to the system here. I'm trying to make sure I do this correctly. So A, like this, selecting the B, like that. Okay, so here's our A, here's our B. And the reason we're running a PickFu test is to find out which item is going to win more clicks from the consumer. And we're going to do this test will go live and we'll have our answer before we end today. So next step, general audience. Next step, you can narrow this down, but for speed's sake, we're just doing a fast one with general audience. Okay, and we're going to go to the next step here and we're going to keep going. Come on, let's get down to the, which product would you more likely to click on? A versus B. Which one do you think is going to win? Post your answer. And proceed to checkout here. And PickFu has been nice enough to give us a free test to check it out each week. So I'm going to add a promo code here and apply. And complete order. All right, so we'll get those results for you in real time here in about 15 minutes. Here is the public PickFu test. If you guys want to cheat, I'm going to post the link in here so you can check it out yourself. All right, so while we're waiting for that, I'm going to answer some more member questions. If you want to jump the queue, feel free to hit a member donation button or a sticker, and we'll jump to yours first. I am the one with the seasonal product launch. I'm 9 days away from the season, want to be in the top 3. So if you're 9 days away from the season, keep doing exactly what you're doing, and you're going to be super happy with that. Maman says, I think the accessories one, that's version B, is going to win. We'll find out. E. Galundo says, delivery duty unpaid. Honestly, I don't know what the theory is between the duty scenarios, to be totally honest. Talk to a logistics expert on that. Trace says, I gave you my ASIN first. So sorry, Trace. I found Karen's first in the chat. I apologize. Maybe next week we'll do another one. Have I had to increase my prices due to inflation and increase in shipping costs? Has that affected your sales? Everybody is going to have to increase their prices. Everybody. The government says inflation rate is 8%. They just increased it from 7 to 8. So whatever the government says, times that by 3, that's the real inflation rate. Rule of 3, never let me down ever before. Inflation rate's 24% right now. And we could talk all day about examples of why the inflation rate is really that high. Cost of food is up. Cost of logistics is up. Don't even get me started on oil and the fact that Russia is the main exporter of oil in the world right now. We buy 60% of our oil from Russia. So there's some irony behind that. So yes, why did the chicken cross the road comes to mind? To get to the other side? Nope. To raise their prices. And in this case, you're all sellers, you're all Amazon sellers, and you're all chickens, and all of you will eventually cross the road to raise your prices this year. It will happen. 25% on average, most likely. So get ready for that. Brace yourself. You're going to have to do it. All right. So let's see what else we got in the queue here. Karen says, regarding what E. Galindo said, just go with the cheapest. Get a DDB quote with a supplier and a DDB quote with your freight forwarder. Go with the cheaper option. I do EXW and get a DDB with my freight forwarder. Say that 10 times fast. Great advice. Thanks for sharing, Karen. This is a great community to be together with. Charlie says, how big of a deal is it to ask for a few launch reviews from friends around the country? I wouldn't do more than 5. If you do more than 5, you're going to get caught. If they're connected with you on Facebook, Amazon will know. I deleted my Facebook about a year ago because F that platform, first of all. But it's toxic. I do have a work Facebook. That one doesn't count. Yes, you can definitely get a couple reviews in. Now, to be very clear, this is prohibited. This is a prohibited action. So I don't endorse this, but you can get away with 2 to 5 from my experience, from what we've seen our clients do. I don't recommend it because they're cracking down on incentivized reviews, and I'm out on the press circuit right now on the radio and TV hits talking about fake reviews like crazy. I've had 20 radio interviews in the last 2 weeks, and everybody's talking about fake reviews right now. Those are considered fake reviews. So just be careful. Can you do it? Yes, but keep it super isolated. Otherwise, you'll get caught, and they will lock down your listings. All right, so earlier I asked, what's the best day of the week to launch your product? My answer is Sunday or Monday. And Trace, I think you're spot on. Monday is better than Sunday for Trace. I like Sunday because you get both days. The weakest day of the week is Saturday and Friday. So avoid those days. Launch it on a Sunday. Get credit for Monday and Sunday going into the busy season. You'll definitely appreciate that. If you don't have a warehouse in the country, there are Amazon prep companies that will accept your shipping. Those EXW, DDP does not matter. You will end up paying for all of it in the end. Good advice, Lucas. Thanks for sharing. Sylvia says, A+ content A/B test, images 500 words a copy versus image only. So I love this topic. Sylvia, you're correct. No copy converts better. Fact. However, what's more important on Amazon, traffic or conversion? You guys, for those super fans that listen all the time, you know I like to rant about this one. Traffic, 10 times more important than conversion. Therefore, if you took a 1% hit on conversion to increase 500 words a copy, and you were then able to generate an extra 1,000 in traffic per month, which would you rather have? Obviously traffic, all day long, every day of the week. Your conversion rates are already good on Amazon. You don't need to worry about conversion rates. Slap that copy in, go for the robot indexing so you show up to more people to begin with. It's way more important. You got to get A+ content with lots of text in it, and you got to have alt text in it, and you got to keyword stuff. It's got to be done. If you don't do that, you're ignoring the value behind SEO. SEO, number one, underrated thing people do on Amazon. And number 2 is probably PPC. Everybody's doing PPC, but it's still undervalued and people underspend on it. But when it comes to SEO, you gotta optimize for all that copy and keywords because it makes a massive difference. Here is one example of a case study I did. This mom box, I generated $144,000 in 3 weeks with $11,000 in PPC spend, and I indexed this product to the top of search for 1 million search volume keyword, gifts for mom, during Mother's Day. And I indexed for 4,000 keywords in under 3 weeks. And I did it by doing everything I just talked about. Lots and lots of copy in the bullets, lots of copy there, lots of copy there, big images, alt text galore, and product grid. All of these things are what made it work. I don't even have the greatest pictures. That's photoshopped, right? Like you can do all these things by just going for SEO. Really, really helpful. Checking on our PickFu test, we got 43 respondents in already for the PickFu test, so we're just moments away from giving the big reveal to see who won on the free PickFu giveaway today. And by the way, if you guys are curious, I do have a free 50% giveaway on PickFu. Go to pickfu.com/myamazonguy for 50% off of PickFu. So you can see that claim offer right there. 50% off. And by the way, I get it's like giving me a Mexican Coke every time you run a PickFu test if you do sign up. So I appreciate it in advance. Okay, awesome stuff. Steven says, Lee, you're very welcome. How many children can a parent listing have? Asks Ravi. Boy, what is the maximum? I actually don't think I've hit the maximum. I've done at least 50. I can tell you that. In theory, if we think about it for a moment, we know that Amazon will take at least 24 variations. So if you had a dual parentage, whatever the math is, 24 times 24. Let's see. So 576. I would bet you could fit at least 576 variations together, at least. I don't recommend doing it, but you can. The consumer will not be able to go through all of those. But if you had different sizes and colors, we have all of the parentage types listed on my Amazon guy. If you're curious, you can go check those out. So we stuck it under listing optimization under the flywheel there. And right here, you can see this is what size parentage looks like. Here's what quantity parentage looks like, color, flavor. But then when it starts to get tricky is color size or style variation, right? So these are the most common parentage themes. So you can check those out on our website if you're curious. Going to refresh the PickFu to see if we got the big reveal ready yet. We are still at 43. I don't know. Didn't refresh. All right, we'll come back to that in a minute. All right. Emily says, this is my wife, haha, if I could only find Mexican Coke at the grocery store. Yes, it's out of stock everywhere, but May's coming up. Cinco de Mayo, everybody stocks it. We're going to have to order a pallet of this stuff and store it at the house. When I get off of these Q&As every Friday, I go chug a Mexican Coke because it takes a ton of energy to answer 200 questions as fast as we do on the channel. Lee says, how would you give the customer a reward, like you said, $20 without going against Amazon policy? So the current T&C, you can incentivize a review. So don't ask for a review. Don't even use the word review anywhere. Not in your digital copy, not in your mailer, right? Like, if any of you guys have received one of my postcards in the mail, be really curious. Let me know if my physical mailings are going to make a difference for marketing. I've also started advertising on Reddit, Facebook, Google, YouTube, LinkedIn, all of these places we've been advertising, trying to grow the company this year, and I'm investing. My profit margin has shrunk considerably because I'm putting a lot of money back into the company this year. But how would you do a reward for $20 to a customer? I would give it to them for posting a picture on Instagram under your brand name hashtag. You will get so many product reviews. It's not funny. Super valuable thing to do. All right, let's go to Ravi. Do you go to trader fairs to find products? Nope, I don't. I'm not a sourcing guy. That's definitely not my forte. So unfortunately, I'm not the guy to ask that question. I do think trading fairs are cool. I think they're interesting. but I don't think you're going to find a way to source goods through them, unfortunately. If I have a keyword running at below 20% ACOS, ask Jahil, should I raise the bid slowly to fully optimize and get the most out of that keyword? Am I leaving sales on the table because of the super low ACOS? Depends on your category. If your competitors are all at 35% ACOS and you're at 20, then absolutely, you're underspending. But if you're all at 20%, maybe not. So what I would say is go ahead and test the theory. Increase your bid 5% at a time and see what happens, right? Because if you have too low of a bid, you are leaving sales on the table. Cheers, Stephen. But I meant, how do you give the customer the $20? Refund or bank transfer, or in the form of a gift card to the website? It's what I do. So what you do is you have them make the post on Instagram. You follow up with them with direct message and just say, hey, here's your promo code for $20 to my website. Order anything you'd like. And so if they order something under $20, you're shipping a free product. Might be a hat, might be a t-shirt, might be whatever, but that's okay. No big deal. Okay, so we have 49 of our 50 respondents. I really wanted to get to that 50th one, just so we had hard numbers. So we'll give that another minute on PickFu there. Scrolling up and looking for some other member questions. We'll take a future member question from Just J. My account has 5 registered brands. One is a parent company, manufacturer, main account name. Amazon is deactivating listings that mention our parent brand in the listing data for the other brands. Example, brand Y, exclusively available from brand X. How can we be infringing on our own IP? Seller support has been useless as usual. Do you have all of these 5 registered brands under one account? If so, this is super unusual. This shouldn't be happening. Make sure each product has its own UPC. As long as you have the IP under one account, and make sure the brand registry account has all 5 of them connected to the same email address, which hopefully is the admin email address on Seller Central, then you're in good shape. If you don't have that, fix it. Get all the brands registered under the main seller email address over on brand registry. Okay. Abdul, hi, Steve, coming in from LinkedIn. Very good to see you as well. Trying to see if we got any other member questions in queue. I think we do. Amazon always tells me that I have contacted the maximum amount of sellers. I can't yell at all of the 3Ps. How do you get unlimited contacting power? I don't know the answer to that one. So I think you're a vendor central seller, so you have a lot of 3P sellers, mom and pops, open distribution network, and it's probably hurting you a little bit. So you could have multiple customer accounts. That might be the way to do it. If you're limited on one customer account, you can get it on the next one over there. No big deal. I have a 1-star review on my listing. It's totally rubbish, and they left it because my product is made in China. Only reason. It's got upvoted to the top. What do I do? Amazon won't take it down. Well, I think it's inevitable. We're all going to have to make things in the USA, honestly. That's coming. The geopolitics are getting crazy out there. But, you know, does that technically violate Amazon's review guidelines? No, it doesn't. That review is going to stick. There's nothing you can do. Try and file an infringement against it. You never know. It might work. Probably won't, though. Jelena says, cool, coming in from LinkedIn. And that's great. All right, we're going to go ahead and go over to our PickFu test. Poll is complete. We received 50 responses in 14 minutes here. And here's the heat. The competitor won 42 to 58, 29 votes. So it's not 100% of a clear winner. There is a little bit of a, I like to say if there's within 5%, it's not 100% convincing, but 58-42, that's pretty good. So here's what some of the things people said. Shows the product better. A looks so odd. So they said this looks odd. I like the roller of the massaging tool of option B. Chose B because I think it's a good look of the product. There's more variety in B. I'm not sure if it's because the product is close to her skin, but I feel like A is a bad photo. So you're getting a couple of feedbacks that are coming up here, Karen. So we did Karen's listing today. Let's see if I can find her ASIN and throw it up on screen. So this is the ASIN we ran the test for. So the responses on the left are for the ASIN on the screen there. And then her competitors on the right, which won. So they think your main photo could be better is what we're hearing, Karen. I think the image shows a better use of the products. I prefer option B because it's more appropriate for my aches and pains. Looks more relevant. I like the rolling pin like massager, looks interesting for a back. So people that picked A, I like what it's used for, shows it in use. See that a few times, very helpful. Product is used for. So the people that went with A, the word used for was used repeatedly in the feedback. I have no idea what this thing is, so I want to know more. So that's why they picked A. They was like, what is this, right? And so there, I think that's a back, not sure. They're showing the accessories a little bit. So if you guys want to check it out, I posted the link in the chat. You can read all the responses yourself to see what the feedback says. So we've done 2 free PickFu tests 2 weeks in a row. Both times the competitor won. This one was a little bit closer than last week's at a 42 to 58 ratio. All right, so I'm looking in the queue. I'm going to see if I can find some next good questions. Amazon is spamming me to run some sponsored display ads. Should I? Currently spending 3 to 5K a month on PPC. Maman, I would test $100 a month. Just see what happens. Run some retargeting from past purchasers. Couldn't hurt you. I would do it. I would put my own money there if I were you. Category targeting is hit or miss. Some items work, some don't. E. Galando says, thank you, Karen. You're very welcome for cross-helping each other out today. Can you talk about how the honeymoon period works? Does it go on your main keywords or category? Well, quite frankly, it's the ASIN. The ASIN is the honeymoon winner, and all of the keywords that you gain during the honeymoon period in that first 2 weeks, could be as long as 30 days, but the first 2 weeks are critical for your honeymoon. And so if you want to know more about that, I have a really good video where I crack open the honeymoon theories. By the way, best way to find if there's a video on a topic that I've done, go to Google, type in problem plus my Amazon guy, just like that. So here's my myth, fact, or fiction on the honeymoons. And so I talk in detail about this.
Does it matter how you launch your product on Amazon?
You should definitely check that one out. So give that a whirl, Lee. Let me know what you think. Just Jay confirms, yep, all registered under one account. I'm going to be at any of the socials at Prosper. Yes, I haven't hard committed to any of them. I'm just going to kind of wander around and see what happens. But yes, if you want to meet me in Prosper in Vegas here in 2 weeks, I will be there. And we're also exhibiting. Stop by our booth. We'd love to shake hands with anybody. Yes, you'll get a chance to meet directly with me, my father, Dan Pope, Dustin Fenton, Jason Master Mateo, Matthew Davis. Some of our directors will be there as well. You can shake hands with all of us. We'd love to see you there. Okay, let's see. Do I write my own copy? Not for my own listings. No, I use employees at my Amazon guy. We have a team of copywriters that we use. Robbie says, does the BSR directly correlate to the ranking? Yes, those are one and the same. BSR stands for Business Sales Ranking. How do ads do below Amazon search box and above product title? Those are display ads, a bit better. They don't do as well. They're higher in the funnel, but they are still worth testing. Some categories do really well with them. Some products do really well. But in general, you're probably going to be at $20,000 a month in spending before you spend a lot on display ads. $50,000 a month, that's when I would do DSP. Sylvia says, regarding the A/B test question, I was talking about running a test through Amazon A/B system and during your SEO phases. Could this hurt the process? I would only do this on a mature listing. Won't hurt your SEO. We don't know if the B version is going to help SEO or not. We have no idea. We don't know how to even test that, to be honest, because we have to run it on multiple listings to get the data, and it's not a true A/B test to find out. Should you run A/B tests on A+ content? Yes, you should, because you want to know what's going to get you the most money. But on a mature listing, that's where the most value is going to come from. So give that a whirl and check it out. How much are autographs and photos? Those are all free. Stop on by, Keith. We'll hook you up. We're going to have some free t-shirts as well as some mugs. So give that a whirl. So that is the My Amazon Guy show today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what your favorite part was. I know there's at least 30 questions in there I didn't get to. I apologize. I'm out of steam today. Every Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time, I will be here to answer questions. I do come back in the comments section, so if you're watching this on the replay, leave a comment as well. Jason Master Mateo will be here on Tuesday as well to answer your questions. So check him out on Tuesdays. We're floating his time right now. He might be at 5 o'clock Eastern to try and get some of the West Coasters. So check that out on Tuesday with Jason Master Mateo. Otherwise, we'll see you guys in Prosper. Thank you so much. It was great seeing you. My name is Stephen Pope, and I'm the founder of My Amazon.